Exactly.
Great choice. Great choice.
We just had a discussion. Hello, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody here and in social media, YouTube. We just had a discussion, so just a quick disclaimer. If you hear me talking about a speed curve today, it's not going to be a speed curve because, yeah, exactly, because we were checking and it was a professor, a German professor, Ferdinand Graf von Spey. So it's going to be a Spey curve, okay, yes, not a speed curve.
Bravo, bravo.
So the speed curve, no, I'm kidding, Spey curve. So guys, welcome once again. I just would like to say, as we always say, if you like the content we share every week, please don't forget to follow us. Click the button if you like, please, and the best is to turn on the notification like this, you don't miss nothing. And now, what about today? So today we have a case of a 39-year-old male patient which came to the clinic with the aesthetic complaint. And the main issues of the patients are the tooth number 21, palatal invasive cervical resorption, and anterior open bite. So what are the two options we offered you to choose? The first option would include extraction of the tooth number 21 with following implant and crown, and then veneers on the canines, from canine to canine in the upper and the lower jaw. And the second option would be trying to save the tooth number 21 with combined endo and surgical treatment, with following ortho treatment and veneers from the teeth number 16 till the tooth number 26. So many cameras. Okay. And this is the result. So 80% of you voted in the second option and 20% of you voted in the first option. This is also the option that we chose, okay? So, no, yeah, we already know all the final.
I'm losing fans on Instagram.
Now everyone is dropping off.
Yeah.
No, but it's not so obvious. It's not so obvious. Why? Because is it the only correct answer? Is it the only correct solution? Probably not, okay? We decided to choose this option of trying to save the tooth, but also why? Because we already know the patient, we knew the patient. So we knew that he doesn't only listen to what we are saying, but he also hears what we are saying. So if we are giving him some information, if we are informing that there is a certain risk of this treatment and the future prognosis of this treatment is not so certain, he really understood that and he really consented to that. So would we proceed with any patient like this? Probably not. Okay, so let's take a closer look to the patient. This is the initial photos. He came to the clinic with a complaint of not good enough aesthetics of the smile. And as we can see here, he has the orthodontic problem. He has the anterior open bite, negative torque, some crowdings, some anesthetic restorations in the anterior zone, and also from the side aspects, from the profile, it was not, it's a class 2, and it was not a satisfying aesthetic for the patient. Another serious issue, as I mentioned before, is the, amongst smaller, different, quite a few issues, the biggest one is the tooth number 21 resorption, as we can see better here. So as you can imagine, this is quite an interdisciplinary case, okay? So almost all the departments from the clinic were taking part in the treatment of this patient. And once again, problems to solve. Apical lesions, 17, 27, some cavities, quite a few non-aesthetic or non-functional restorations that we had to change. But once again, his biggest issues were the resorption of 21 and the orthodontic problems. Okay, so let's take a closer look to the resorption. Here in the CBCT, we can see actually how serious and how big is the size of the resorption. We can observe it here from the axial view and from the coronal plane as well. Please check here how big. And the endodontic department, here it was Dr. Teresa Kazaka. Her diagnosis was palatal invasive cervical resorption. And please note the tooth was vital. And here you can see even better from the sagittal plane how serious is the resorption and how actually fatal in consequences could be the prognosis of this tooth. Okay, so by the literature, what actually is a palatal invasive cervical resorption, so ICR? It's a relatively uncommon lesion, which is a significant defect of the root surface, with hard dental tissue disappearing, and the lesion is filled with fibrovascular tissue. Usually the tooth is painless, and usually the tooth is vital. The nature of this inflammatory process is not absolutely clear. Normally we say it's idiopathic. So the endodontic department, together with surgical department and Professor Andre Shen, decided to make the treatment of raising a flap together with the crown lengthening. Dr. Teresa Kazaka, she removed the fibrovascular tissue. It was thoroughly debrided, and as continuation, the lesion was filled, restored. The vital pulp was protected by MTA, covered by ionosyl and direct composite resin. Now, I wouldn't like to elaborate too much about the details of this treatment because Dr. Teresa Kazaka, on the next What Would You Do session, she will elaborate step by step exactly of how was the procedure, okay? And she will tell you more about this resorption and how it was done. So let me go back to the orthodontic issue and the orthodontic plan. Here, Dr. Elena Cervinho, together with Dr. Mafalda Ascenso, they planned, sorry?
Mafalda von Ascenso.
Mafalda Graf von Spey. So the treatment plan was planned with clear aligners. And from the very beginning, it was very clear that without the maxillofacial surgery, it will be not possible to achieve a perfect occlusion and to close the anterior open bite. Nevertheless, it was possible to correct the Spey curve and to improve the aesthetic conditions for further treatment planned with veneers. Okay. Also, what was planned was a slight extrusion of central incisors for the further surgical, combined surgical and endodontical treatment. And here we have the...
The smile allowed to extrude.
Sorry?
The smile of the patient.
Yes, allowed,
to
yeah.
extrude a little bit.
Exactly, yes. And here we have the effects. After 18 months of orthodontic treatment with clear aligners, we can see the effects. We can actually see the correction of the Spey curve and the better alignment. We can see the negative torques, as they used to be, are now more positive, which makes us the aesthetic work with veneers way easier, okay, to achieve a very nice aesthetic effect. And here the side aspect after the 18 months of treatment. So the smile of the patient after 18 months of orthodontic treatment was quite improved already, which gave us great conditions for continuing with the aesthetic treatment. So the patient finally got his moment he waited so much. Now he can get his veneers. This is the side aspect. And so we proceeded. The prosthodontic department, we proceeded with the mock-up. We planned mock-up from tooth number 16 till tooth number 26. Please note the first premolars were previously in childhood extracted for orthodontic reasons. So here we have the mock-up, what we observed in the mock-up and what we corrected. The patient loved the mock-up. The patient loved the aesthetic and he accepted directly. We as the prosthodontic department, what we noted and what we wanted to correct was the length of the canines. They seemed a bit too long in the mock-up, so we corrected them. And here we can see also the 3D image of the mock-up, and we can actually see here how much still the open bite is there. But we cannot correct it without maxillofacial surgery. So this is what we have, okay? And here we have already veneer preparation through the mock-up, preparation of the teeth 16 till 26. After preparation, we continued with the applying of provisionals, as you can see here. During the time the patient was waiting for the definitive veneers, we proceeded with the whitening of the lower arch. And finally, here we have the veneers cemented and the final outcome of the aesthetic treatment. After re-evaluating here in the team, we noticed that still we could correct a bit orthodontically and extrude a bit the lower canines, which was proceeded. So here we have the before and after. We have the final outcome. I think it's very pleasant. The smile of the patient, it's very improved. So, is the patient happy? Yes, he is. He likes the aesthetic outcome, everything is okay. But what about the long-term prognosis? Everything was okay. Now after 10 months, the 10 months follow-up after the endodontic and surgical treatment, the patient appeared with the tenderness on the vertical percussion. So, can we call it a success? Might the patient need the second stage of endodontic treatment, which would be actually endodontic treatment per se with the root canal filling? Yes, he might. Might the patient finally need an extraction and following an implant and the crown? Yes, he might. But we are here for all of this, okay? So any need the patient would have, we are here to answer that along his lifetime. So I would call it a success by now, yes, and it will be continued. We will follow, we will observe the case. And as I told you, on the next session, Dr. Teresa Kazaka, she will have some more info and more update about this patient. So if you're curious what happens next, please join us again on the next session. And this is it. I hope you liked it. I hope the case was interesting. Thank you so much for the attention. Once again, please follow us if you like us. If you like what we publish, please follow us here. That's all.